What's going on, everybody? We are live here for the Braves Diamondbacks game. As we're excited for this one, the Braves got a 2-1 lead in the series. We're hoping that we can pull it out tonight and win the series 3-1 instead of a split series. So Braves currently sit right now 9 games back from Philly. So definitely would be nice if we're able to get the win and get a game on them, make it down to 8. As getting a few more things set up real quick, and we got Anthony from Sorgy Story is going to be joining us in here in a minute, as he should be jumping in here soon.
As the game is just about getting ready to be underway, first pitch about to be underway. So we appreciate all of you guys here in the chat that are watching us live. If you haven't already, go ahead and go subscribe to American Football Network on YouTube. Also, go check out our baseball channel, our Braves channel, the A-Town Baseball Podcast. Go subscribe over there. Go to also check out American Football Network Bet. Subscribe over there. The Podcast Boys Network on YouTube. Subscribe to them and follow Podcast Boys Network on Twitter. And check out Shady Sports Network on YouTube and on Twitter. I believe Facebook as well. You can also catch us on Twitter and Twitch as well. As we are getting ready to be underway, first pitch was supposed to be 9:43. So I'm pulling the game up to watch on my phone right now. This should be a good one. I love how the Braves have still been battling this season, and I love how the rotation stepped up. Lopez and Sale have been incredible. Despite losing Strider, we lost Sean Murphy for a while. He may be the best catcher in the league. Definitely in terms of defense, he is. And then you look, we lost Acuna. Michael Harris been injured for a little bit, so it's been quite the struggle for the Braves here this season. As get one more thing set up as Anthony's in here. How you doing, Anthony?
What is up? Doing well. How about you?
Doing good. See the Brewer stuff on for you.
Yup, got this Christian Yelich City Connect T-shirt in the mail a couple days ago. Good 4th of July deals on Fanatics last week.
Oh yeah, they are. That's the best time to get in on is when they run those deals.
Yeah.
It's crazy how expensive some of this stuff is now.
Yeah, this thing I think
back
was
when you could get an adult jersey for like $80. Now it's like $110.
Exactly. Yeah, I think this was $35 normally, and I got it for $12. So.
Oh yeah, you can't beat that.
Yeah, exactly. And I got a Badgers T-shirt. I don't have any Badgers here, so I finally got a T-shirt on their Fanatic store for like $12. Just overall good deals all around.
Oh yeah, that's great. I always make sure I do all of my online shopping around holidays.
Yeah,
for the most part. For the most part,
Yeah. You there?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, all good.
All right, there we go.
Okay.
Had
Max
a glitch
Fried on the mound for the Braves tonight.
Yep, and can't pronounce his last. I think it's I gotta look at it to say it for the Diamondbacks. Where is he?
Let's see. Let me try to make sure you don't get copyrighted.
Pafat.
Oh, Brandon Pfaadt.
Pfaadt. Okay, that's how you say it. Yeah.
Yeah, he pitched against the Brewers in the wild card last year.
Yeah, he was great last year. He hasn't been so much this year.
Yeah. Man, I have to say this. The Diamondbacks uniforms, I just cringe at. Like, I'm sorry, but fitting that entire Diamondbacks word across the jersey isn't a good look.
I don't like them.
And I don't know the last time that I called them the Diamondbacks. Like, I just say the D-backs.
That's what I usually say. Yeah.
Yeah, so them having D with the like little kind of local Native American style like I guess it would be a diamond and then backs is like the best look I think they have at home.
I like that.
But yeah, Chase Field is I'd say an underrated ballpark. It's not my favorite, but I like it. Where did I have it? Let me pull it up quick. In my ballpark rankings of the 19 I've been to, I had Chase Field at number 14, a 7.7 out of 10. So lower on my list, but is there a
I'd say that's a pretty fair ranking for him.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out which one I missed.
As a full count, DeMarte now.
Yes, there is. I think that the concept of the stadium was to make it feel like an outdoor ballpark inside, but they failed at that because they made the outfield so enclosed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
As a nice
Definitely,
hit by
yeah.
Marte.
A base hit for Marte on the full count into center field, and that is going to be a leadoff single as Atlanta in the first went 1-2-3. Kelnick, Albies, Riley failing to reach base. As that'll bring up Moreno for the Diamondbacks.
Yeah, Moreno's been a
Braves
decent
won.
catcher for them.
He has been. He's been pretty solid. He's been pretty solid as first pitch is fouled off. Four-seamer about right down the middle. Braves won game 1, 5-4 and 11. Back on the 8th. Then on Tuesday, they won 6-2, and then yesterday fell 7-5.
Gotcha. But I was gonna say about Arizona. I find them really interesting this year. If I pull up their chances at the playoffs coming into today, they were given by Baseball Reference a 25.5% chance at the playoffs. A pretty average remaining strength of schedule, but the interesting thing is a 10% gain in playoff chances over the last month. So things look good for them right now, I'd say.
They do, yeah. And they've been really disappointing for a team that was in the World Series last year. And so have the Rangers. Both of them have been bad.
Yeah, I think that Cincinnati, Arizona, and the Mets are going to be in a three-way race for that number 6 spot. I'd give it to the Reds personally. I know they're in last place in the NL Central, but they have one of the easiest schedules in baseball the rest of the way. So I think they're going to be able to take advantage of that. The Mets, I just don't know if I can trust.
That's always it's a great catch from Austin Riley in the line out.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that was just a solid play by a solid defensive third baseman, right? He's in that upper tier of guys in the league when it comes to playing so well, which it's not easy to play well at third base. That's a tough position to play.
It's not. It is. And I feel like he doesn't get enough credit for what he does over there at third base defensively.
Yeah, I'd agree with that, especially with like how tough it is sometimes to just get the ball across the field to the first baseman and make that accurate of a throw in that split second that you have to make that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like you see like him, Nolan Arenado, Alec Boehm with the Phillies, phenomenal. There's for sure a group of those guys who you say they are really good at this. Oh man, that's tough. Ozzy Albies.
Yeah, that was tough. Slowly hit ball, then you had to wait on the batter to get in, or the runner Marte to cross over in front of you on his way to second to get it. Grichuk's just too fast, couldn't get it. Ball was hit slow to begin with too.
Yeah, I mean that's a tough play. And it's rare you see those kind of plays at second base. We were just talking about third base. When you watch how these guys have to make plays on balls hit like that at third, as another one hit to third there.
Oh yeah, for sure. On the second for one, on the first, a double play, and we're out of the inning.
Nice. But
as we are on a quick commercial break, we're going to take it with them. And we will be right back with you guys in just a moment. As we are back, as Matt Olson up for the Braves here, see if we can get some runners on the base path as the pitch ball up and in on him.
yeah, my feed just went out. I'll have to see if I can get it back.
All right. As the 1-0 pitch is fouled back into the screen, make it a 1-1 count here on Matt Olson.
Okay, let's see what's going on. Oh, the entire thing went out. Let me grab it. How about a lot of blowouts today? The Mets beating the Nats 7-0. Tigers beating the Guardians 10-1. Reds over the Rockies 8-1. A day of not at all close games.
Yeah, for sure. A lot of blowouts. As on the 2-1, Olsen swung and missed at a fastball. All fastballs here to start. Matt Olson out. First 4 pitches, all fastballs. I would imagine with 2 strikes here, breaking ball coming.
Yeah.
As it was a breaking ball, a sweeper in there, fouled back from Olson.
What's your count and what's how many pitches does Spot have?
3-2 count.
3-2 count. Okay, I have a 2-2 count. Let me.
Sorry, I meant yes, 2-2 count.
Okay, gotcha. Let me make sure that this is working. Okay, there we go.
Another foul ball here on a 4-seam up in the zone, fouled straight back.
I have fought with 17 pitches so far.
Same.
Okay, I'm just making sure we all have the same thing. I think it's interesting also the D-backs hats. They went
I
with
do
like
too.
a 90s logo compared
Yes.
to the current one. So it's like it's weird how they have the same logo concept but two different logos using them both at the same time. It's puzzling to me, this kind of rebrand they did.
I like it. I like it. As a full count now, and it is fouled back from Olsen. So a good at bat from Olsen. Even if he doesn't get on here, he's at least 9 pitches with this next one coming.
Yeah.
Now, good at bat here, working him. Weak grounder to second. Newman on the first in time. 1 out. But a
I
solid at
saw
bat,
that.
making him throw 9 pitches.
Yeah, I saw that like about 20 seconds ago, and I was trying to send it back a little bit. Let me try to do it this way. Okay, 147.
Yeah, mine keeps
Let's see if that'll work.
keeps
Okay.
jumping back
Right
and
now,
forth.
I have 1 out, and it was just a low pitch to make it a 1-0 count.
That's what I got.
Okay, perfect.
Is our MVP Marcell Ozuna up to bat?
You think he's the MVP this season?
He's our MVP. I hope he's able to win it.
Okay,
I'll be back 1 second.
All right. So I'll ask this question to Lincoln when he gets back, but I also just want to ask it as a question to anyone in the comment section. What does it take for a DH to win the MVP in the National League, especially? Because
All right,
the
sorry
argument,
about that. I had to plug my computer in.
all good. I was just asking, should a DH be able to win the MVP in the National League? And what should it take for that? Because there is the argument that Shohei hasn't stepped foot on the field as either a pitcher or an outfielder this season. Oh, man. Okay. I'll let you continue to play that one.
Man, Ozuna hit that one pretty good. About 5 feet short.
Yeah,
About 5 feet short. And he's actually one RBI away from breaking the franchise record for RBIs before the All-Star break.
Man. But
Tied with Andrew Jones right now.
The thing about Ohtani is, so let's just say, theoretically, let's say Shohei ends up out for 3 weeks with an injury, God forbid. Right? And let's say either Christian Yelich or Bryce Harper has an insane second half, like Yelich did in 2018, where they end up with like 45 homers and Shohei ends up with like 48, right? Who's your MVP?
Uh-huh.
That's the question. Do you value the playing of the field for Harper or Yelich over that DH where you're only doing we're only really playing half the time as the other guys? Like, how do you value that?
The way I would look at it is if Harper or Yelich are in the conversation for Gold Glove at their position, they win it. If they're not, then you just go off batting. Because I'm not going to factor in defensively if you're just an average defender.
Yeah.
But if you're somebody who is an elite, who has had an elite season on defense, then I'll take that into account.
Yeah, I think the issue with Yelich there would be that he doesn't play the outfield enough because the Brewers don't have an established DH like the Braves or the Dodgers do. It's a very kind of, we'll give Yelich some rest on days, we'll give William Contreras some rest, Willie Adames some rest, we'll play Gary Sanchez there. Like, it's a very kind of mixed bag. And so once or twice a week, Yelich ends up as the DH. As Arizona gets out.
Duvall flies out here to center as the Braves will go 1-2-3 again, and when we come up to it'll be McCarthy, Suarez, and Carroll due up for Arizona. But we're gonna take a quick break with them, and we'll be right back with you guys in just a moment.
Okay.
All right, so we are back as the roof is closed in Arizona.
Yeah.
Got to keep McCarthy off the path here, as he is a very big threat on the base path. Him and Carroll due up in this inning. Got to keep those guys off the path. As Carroll won Rookie of the Year last year, and he's had a very down year this year, only hitting 211. They've got him hitting 7th.
Yeah, I mean, it happens. Sophomore slump, right?
For sure.
We see guys struggle like that. I don't know what went wrong in Arizona. I don't know if it's a lack of veteran leadership. That's just a thought. No Tommy Pham. Not that he's much of a leader, considering that he says he spends his offseason training in boxing gyms so he can be ready to fight anyone.
Yeah, as McCarthy base hit into center field, and he's on with no outs.
But they also lost Evan Longoria, who is...
They did.
I mean, look at what he did against the Brewers, right, in that wild card series. He single-handedly won the Diamondbacks with that game 1, I think it was, when he made 2 incredible defensive plays. So that saved them the game. So losing guys like that can, I think, really hurt you. Down like when you're coming off. I mean, you have guys who like Eugenio Suarez who's up, but coming off a World Series loss, it can be tough. And also, did the Diamondbacks really deserve to be in that World Series? Like, if we're being honest, okay, they beat the Brewers. Sorry, go ahead.
I will say they earned it, but they were not the best team in the National League.
Yeah, but
they got hot at the right time.
And I think part of it is getting hot at the right time, right? They sweep the Brewers. I don't think that came as a huge shock. It did to me because I'm a Brewers fan, but to other people, I don't think it did. The Dodgers one surprised me, but the Phillies, when it comes to the Phillies bats just went cold. That's what happened. The Diamondbacks didn't play incredible baseball in games, 3 through 7 of that series? Especially in games 5 through 7, Schwarber, Harper, and I think it was Trey Turner I'm trying to remember that third guy. I think it was Trey. None of them.
What it really seemed
Yeah.
like to me is that the Phillies World Series was against the Braves, and it was like they used everything they had, and that it really looked at like just all the emotion and everything that was in that series. The Phillies didn't really know what to do with Arizona.
That's
Like, okay,
true.
there's not this rivalry. And it also seemed like they were a little exhausted.
I think they were especially exhausted after taking that 2-0 lead, right? When
Yes.
they had won 2 games. And also consider this. There is no bigger home field advantage in baseball than Citizens Bank Park during the playoffs. Just the amount of noise and the amount of energy coming out of that stadium. And the way that those fans will get into your head unlike any other fan base.
Those people are crazy up there.
They are, especially during the playoffs, right? Like Zach Gallen.
It's like if you took every Florida man that's ever made the news and put them all in a baseball stadium, told them to cheer for this team.
Right, but we saw some people who weren't like that. In Game 7, the amount of people who left that ballpark before it was over. I'm sorry, but I don't care whether it's the third game of the year on let's say you had a couple rainouts opening weekend and it's a Tuesday in April, or if it's Game 7 of the World Series. I don't, unless you have a good reason, don't leave a game early.
I've never understood anybody leaving a game early. I don't care. For instance, like football is the worst at it. Your team will be down by 30 points and they'll leave the game early. I get leaving 2 or 3 minutes left in the game because your team's not coming back and you want to beat the traffic. But leaving at halftime or third quarter, like you paid for the game, at least stay and watch it. You never know what could happen.
Exactly. And although the Phillies were down in that Game 7, people just left because in Philadelphia and in other cities as well, not Arizona, because we've seen their fans didn't show up for that NLCS. They just didn't, which is sad to see. But in Philly, it's one of those cities where it's the hottest ticket in town, and if you're there, you're a cool person. That's just how it is.
Yeah.
Right? So many of those people are like, oh, we're going to lose. There's not going to be any cool video to take to get me more followers on Instagram. I'm out. That was it. While there were dozens, and for a little bit, my dad and I stopped by the ballpark to see what was going on for those last few innings and stood outside. There were people who stood there for all 3 hours and watched on a TV outside of the ballpark.
Yeah, they would have done anything to be inside.
Exactly, because tickets were like $500. And I mean, there were people with cameras, microphones. My dad and I got interviewed. They were asking us what we loved about the city of Philadelphia and how great it was. But like that Phillies team, it felt like they just collapsed. It felt like the Eagles, what they did. It felt like what the Flyers did. I know this isn't a very pro hockey channel, but I'll go ahead and say the Philadelphia Flyers, who, for those who don't know, played absolutely great, had a playoff spot locked up, essentially, with a couple weeks left, and then just lost all their games and missed the playoffs.
And like the Sixers do every year in the second round of the playoffs.
The Sixers isn't a surprise, though. Like, I keep saying it. The issue is ownership. It's a very systemic problem in Philly.
I think with the Sixers, it's a mix of ownership and that your leader is Joel Embiid.
And that's the thing. Joel Embiid isn't a leader.
Exactly.
There is no leadership. That's why I said they should have traded Joel Embiid, because his injury problems aren't going to get any better. If you can get a big package for him, just try to build around Maxey and start the process all over again, because it's not worth just doing this time and time again because you're becoming the Dallas Cowboys of the NBA.
Exactly. And adding Paul George is not doing anything, because what is adding Paul George ever done to anybody?
Yeah,
nothing.
for sure.
Literally nothing.
For sure. I mean, I think they might be able to get to the Eastern Conference Finals. I don't think they're going to win it.
No.
That's
As Max Fried with a great end to the inning with 3 strikeouts. Gave up the leadoff hit to McCarthy, then strikes out Suarez, Carroll, and Newman to end it. So we head to the top of the third. We're going to take a quick break with them, and we'll be right back with you guys in just a moment.
Okay.
As we are back, and the man himself, Eddie Rosario, back in Atlanta again.
Eddie.
Started out this year with the Nationals. Now he's back in Atlanta. Let's tell my buddy now we need to get his Soler and Peterson, and we'll be good to roll for a World Series.
Man, can I say that those 3 guys, I would have died in 2022 after those guys were free agents. I would have died to have any of them on the Milwaukee Brewers. I thought that they were going to change the entire team if they were on the crew, just because the Brewers were looking for guys like that. But weren't.
It was crazy what they did. It was
Yeah,
crazy
exactly.
what they did.
Yeah, such great veteran impact players. And now Eddie Rosario struggling. The Braves need an outfielder. Why not trade for why not sign him and just see kind of what can happen, right?
Exactly.
But I think that when it comes to the Braves, the question is, who do you pick up at the deadline? Because you're not going to go for Jazz Chisholm. Because, I mean, do the Braves need a shortstop or a second baseman? That's the question I'll ask you. Long term, do they need one?
Shortstop is kind of hard because last year Arcia, All-Star, played great. This year he's hitting 206.
Well, that's what happens when you tell Bryce Harper, attaboy Bryce, and then that's what happens.
I think the biggest struggle for Arcia, I think the biggest reason for his struggles this year is where he's positioned in the lineup and what the lineup around him looks like. These bats are not the same bats that were in this lineup last year. And so you couldn't put Arcia in. You couldn't pin him in somewhere and say, okay, well, you got to pitch to him because if, the guy behind him is on fire. So you gotta pitch to Arcia. You can't just mess around with him. And so now it's like he doesn't have that safety net of a guy behind him.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, I'll show you. One of my phone backgrounds is literally when Bryce Harper stared at them. That's my Phillies phone background, and then it opens to the Philly crowd during the playoffs. Like that moment now, like, is so funny to look back at. Because you don't mess with Bryce Harper. You just don't mess with Bryce Harper. It's and this is coming from a guy who almost cried when the Brewers. Actually, I probably did cry in, like, what would it have been, 2018? I think, when the Brewers traded Orlando Arcia. Or no, it's 2020. No, so I didn't cry. I was getting him mixed up with who did we trade? Jonathan Villarz, who we traded in 2018.
Yep.
But like, Arcia was one of my favorite guys because I watched him come up through AA, AAA, and then to the bigs. As what's up, Andrew? X_streams in the chat. I popped into his Twitch chat and I was like, "Yo, I'll be back later. I'm on a YouTube live stream right now."
Appreciate you stopping in, and appreciate Lou getting in. He says, "I need this game over 8 runs to win $2,000." How much did you put on that? That's what I want to know. How much you put down on it?
Man, I've seen so
As
many
I mean, if you look at the rest of the series, you would have hit in every game. You would have got a push in game 2, but game 1, game 3 would have been over.
Yeah.
The offense will pick up. The offense will pick up. And the football extraordinaire, appreciate you hopping in. My final score prediction for this game, I'm gonna go 7-5 Braves.
So I'm gonna agree with you on the Braves winning, but we're already in the third. I'll say maybe 4-2 Braves.
Okay.
I think they get a win, but I think it's decently low scoring.
I'm rooting for you, Lou. 7-5.
Yeah, I hope, Lou, that you do cash out on that bet and get 2K. But my actual prediction would for sure be that. But like from the Phillies Braves thing, I think will be interesting this October because right now it looks like they'll end up playing in the DS. But the Phillies will have games 1, 2, and 5 at home. So they get that extra home game. That'll be interesting to see what happens there and how many games that series goes.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, if you're the team playing Philly in the NLDS, I feel like the easiest path to victory is win 2, 3, and 4. Crowd's gonna be extra amped up for game 1 and game 5 in Philly. Not that game 2's gonna be, not that game 2's gonna be easy or quiet in there. I just don't think
Yeah.
it'll be quite as amped up as the opening game of the playoffs and the final game of the series.
If I will say though that if they win game 1 and they have that energy knowing that they're one game closer to moving on, because that's a big thing here in Philly is Ralph Thompson and the clubhouse have this tradition where after every playoff win, a guy in the clubhouse yells the update and then says Topper, which is the nickname for Rob Thompson, on how many games until they win the World Series. And so that's kind of just the phrasing is it's, 10 more Topper, right? So that every game getting closer, that energy just amps up that little bit. But home opener for the playoffs is going to have a little bit of extra juice.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. As Arcia goes down swinging to end the third, Braves still without a base runner, and this one spot is perfect through 3. As we're gonna head to the bottom of the third, we're gonna take a quick break here, but we'll be right back in just a moment. first pitch fastball
Yep.
from Freed to Perdomo, right down the middle, pretty much.
Yeah, I wanted to talk quickly about the football extraordinaire's comment on his score prediction. It would be fun to see it go extras, but I'll put one thing on that. For the Braves, they're hopping on a flight as soon as this game is over and they can get to the hotel or to the plane. They're hopping on a flight to San Diego for a weekend series against the Padres. So they want to get out of there as soon as possible and get into their hotel and get some good rest before tomorrow's opener at Petco Park. So I don't think they really want to go extras. For the D-backs, it doesn't matter. They have another, what would it be, a 6:40 local time game tomorrow night against Toronto, so it doesn't make a huge difference for them. But for Atlanta, they want to get out of Phoenix as soon as possible.
Oh, yeah, for sure. As Freed, first pitch fastball right down the middle, then 3 balls on the fastball, then a sinker at the top of the zone. Perdomo thought it was ball 4, tossed the bat, but a called strike, so a full count now.
Yeah, but I mean, I've taken that Phoenix-San Diego flight. It's not long, but still, like, you want to be in and out of a city as soon as possible.
Oh, yeah, for sure. As Perdomo will ground this one to Olsen. He'll touch the bag, and that'll be the first out of the inning.
Yeah.
You never really see somebody do good after they think it's ball 4 and toss the bat.
Yeah, there's something
Start down to
mental
first base
there.
and got to come back.
There's some sort of mental thing there. I don't know what it is, but
I
yeah.
don't either.
Ketel Marte, this dude is, I'd say, the most underrated player in baseball. Gets absolutely
He's up there.
Yeah, he gets absolutely no respect from the national media, just because Phoenix isn't a good baseball market, right? You don't see the Diamondbacks on national TV because they don't have that many fans. It's just part of Arizona baseball, I guess. I don't know what it is, but like the
He
Cardinals
flied
have
out
good.
to right field on that one.
Yeah, the Cardinals have good fans, and the Suns have good fans, but baseball not the favorite sport, I guess, of Phoenicians, I guess is the right phrase for people from Phoenix. That's my guess. I don't know. Let me look on that David Fry question from the Football Extraordinaire. Let me pull up his stats. Batting 288. How many games? 70 games, 288. Catcher. This guy said, I didn't even know the Guardians had this guy. I must have missed him.
I agree with you, Cody. I hope the Braves have a chance to come back and win the division. I think they do. Obviously, they have a chance. They can get hot in the second half. Philly can get cold. Do I think they will? Probably not. But I also don't think it's going to end with them being down 9 games in the division. I think they'll cut it to at least 5-6 games.
I'd agree with that. Yeah.
I think it'll be closer than it is now, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure that they come back and they win the division.
Yeah. So to answer the Football Extraordinaire's question, my all-star team, let me pull it up on Instagram here. I had Rutschman as my starter, Perez as my backup, and Ohapi as a third catcher, as just to make sure that someone represents the Angels. As third out of the inning. But I don't love David Fry there. I just don't think he has the home run numbers to be there.
For sure. As Max Fried, 1, 2, 3
Yeah.
in the bottom of the third. And you out?
I could stick around for another inning or so.
It's up to you.
Quick moving game. Yeah, I'll say I'll stick around for another half inning and kind of keep talking about the Phillies Braves thing.
We'll hang out for another half inning, but we're going to take a quick break while the commercials run, and we'll be right back with you guys in just a moment.
Okay. Seems like we are back here in the top of the fourth.
For sure, Cody. I'll be all right with a wild card, for sure.
Yeah. So I wanted to talk about why I think the Phillies, other than the fact as that is sky high.
Yep, just a routine fly ball to center from Kelnick.
Yeah,
So he's
but
0 for 2. Braves
when it,
still without a base run through 3 and a third innings here as Ozzy Albies fouls off the first pitch curve. 0 and
yeah,
1.
the reason part of the reason I want to stick around for this top of the fourth is I wanted to talk about something with the division lead that I find interesting, as there is never mind, that's foul. As how obviously the Acuna and Strider injuries have significantly hurt the Braves. But that said, there's something interesting with the Phillies that I think is factoring in to why they're playing so well. So let's start with this. Citizens Bank Park is one of the most hitter-friendly parks in baseball. A lot of home runs, easy to hit a home run there compared to Petco or another or Coors Field or a place like that where the dimensions are really deep. Although Coors Field evens out because of the elevation. But the thing about Citizens Bank Park is that it's really easy to hit a homer when it's hot and humid. And this has been one of the hottest and most humid summers in Philadelphia history. And as soon as that heat picked up in early April, the Phillies all of a sudden got hot and they haven't slowed down. And I really think that that has factored in into what they've done this year. Because they didn't make
Oh,
any
yeah, for sure. Without a
moves.
doubt.
They haven't made any
Without
major
a doubt.
moves. But sorry, go ahead.
There's a good sweeper at the knees on the 2-2 gets
Man,
Albies.
that is tough.
Struck out swinging here on this one, as Fod is at 3 strikeouts now and still perfect through 3 and 2/3 innings. We streamed both of our teams' games, and Skeens had a no-hitter going through 7 against y'all. Looking like
Yeah,
we might have the same thing working here.
I hope not. Well, okay. So as the Phillies fan of me says, I really hope that you guys lose. But me wanting your team to win, I want you guys to
Yeah.
have at least a decent game.
You might be the bad luck. We might need to kick you off.
I mean, I was at a Brewers no-hitter in Cleveland, so I had something going for me. But I don't know. Maybe it's just
You
that
may have lost it.
I think it might
As
be
that
that.
sweeper's in the other batter's box.
The thing is, I've watched 2 Brandon Pfaadt appearances, and he's been really good in both of them. This is the second time I've watched him. So maybe it's just that and same with Skeens. Skeens is always good when I watch him. But
Well, there we go. See what happens. You talk about it, you ruin it.
Perfect. Okay, there we go. See, I don't
base hit
believe in
into
the
left
no-hitter
field.
jinx. Earlier, I said that Skeens had the no-hitter and everything. It ended up being broken up, but I didn't. But Skeens wasn't the one who gave up the hit. And I mean, look at the amount of times that Vince Scully said no-hitter and the Dodgers had a no-hitter when he was there.
Oh yeah.
I'll say it the entire game. I don't care. And I mean, some dude in my comment section called me a nerd for it earlier. Say what you want. I don't care. I'm not the superstitious type of fan.
Well, after the Braves' first base hit of the game, Olsen lines one to first base.
Man,
And
that
Walker
is
tags the back to end the inning.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and head out. But I may be in the comment section a little bit.
Sounds good. Sounds good. I'm probably gonna cut the commentary, leave the stream up. Got to be up early for work in the morning, so.
Yeah. Well, have a great night. Comment section. Have a great night. Good luck to both teams the rest of the way. And
For sure. Thank you for joining us, man. Make sure you guys go check out Sorgy Stories on YouTube and subscribe to them.
Appreciate it.
Go check them out. They do good stuff over there. But yeah, man, you have a good rest of your night. I'm sure we'll do another one soon.
Sounds good.
All right, so that'll be it for the commentary tonight, but we're going to leave the stream running for you guys. If you guys want to keep up with it, we appreciate all you guys tuning in. Make sure you subscribe or follow wherever you're watching. We will see you guys later.